Now, this scenario that I'm actually going to be running, it's one of the old Star Wars D6 adventures from West End Games. Copyright 1995, but actually that was the compilation. I think the actual scenario is older than that. So, if any of you ever played any of these old D6 adventures, hopefully you never played this one, but one of the characteristics of those scenarios was that they you had a bit of an introductory script where you got some of the players and the games master to just read a bit of a script to get you in the mood for the scenario. So I'm looking for 2 volunteers, please. One to play first character, one to play second character.
So, what do you want to do for the next 8 hours?
I don't know. What do you want to do?
Maybe we can watch that holotape of you again. You know, the one where the waitress's boyfriend comes in.
I don't want to talk about that. We knew this would be a slow job when we started, but we have to wait for them until they get back. Besides, they paid us 3,000 credits up front, and they're giving us another 4,000 when they get back. It's almost 3 times what the trip was worth.
Yeah, I know. But I wish something would happen to take our minds off all this. These people can't even build anything. I'd hate to see what they do for entertainment around here.
Almost on cue, the comm board comes to life. In a strangely nasal voice you hear, "Hey you! Up there in the Great Fang! Is your captain aboard? And is his name Matway?" The voice sounds familiar, but you cannot place it.
Yeah, who wants to know?
"Oh, I was just wondering if you wanted to sit down and try to win back the 1,500 credits you lost at Sabak on Turkirk a few months back."
What in the 3 rings of Anstares is going on, and who is that?
Would this be one short, dull, green-skinned, hairless, low-life, cheating Zarian named Yotar?
What the heck is...
"So you do remember, eh? Well, if you'll allow me to come aboard, I think I have a proposition for you that you just can't refuse."
Another scam, Lotar?
"Not this time. This time it's perfectly legit, and the best part is it pays 500 credits for about 6 hours of your time."
Well, here's our chance to do something, provided we're done by the time our customers show up. But can we trust this guy?
Not in the least. That's why I'm interested. I say we at least hear him out. Who knows? Maybe this will be just another milk run maybe this will be just another milk run. By the red scenes of Knorrs, we sure could use one to fill up the next several hours.
You activate the exterior's door controls.
We're opening the hatch. We will hear your proposition, and it better be good, or you may find yourself in the torpedo tube.
"Oh, it's good, all right. I'm coming aboard." So, as per the crawl, you're on this kind of mid-rim planet called Antiquity. Yeah, the city is called Lisan. It's really pretty much a dead spot on the world, which is a pretty amazing concept, really, because the planet's more lifeless than Tatooine. It's a quiet spaceport town on the edge of the huge South Mudflats, which extends for hundreds of kilometers. The town's whole economy is based upon the growth of teggy fungal roots, one of the main ingredients of bantha fodder. It has about 5,000 permanent residents, mostly farmers and spaceport hired help. The only tavern is a disgusting hovel that reeks with last week's garbage, and you would rather spend your time aboard your ship than go to that actual tavern. Most of the buildings are temporary plasticrete shelters which are secured to the mudflats with magna grapple poles. The rest of Antiquity is remarkably similar to the conditions found on in Lisan. Virtually the whole planet is either mudflats, shallow seas, or sheer rock mountains. While there are several other cities, all of them are just larger, more grandiose collections of plasticrete shelters. So, the people that you dropped off, these 4 tough-looking guys, 3,000 credits now. Originally, it was going to be 3,000 more when they returned to the ship, but they called you about half an hour ago saying that they were having some issues with their business, that they were going to be probably take another 2 hours longer than they anticipated, and for your trouble with staying around another 2 hours, they're going to give you another 1,000 credits. So that's where the 3,000 plus 4,000 mentioned in the script comes in. But yeah, just to keep the comlink channel open at all times. So essentially now you have kind of 8 hours to wait. So certainly the chance of getting a little bit of extra money in the time that you're waiting might be quite nice.
Lucrative.
Yes, indeed. So you have a standard YT 1300 light freighter called the Crate Fang, and the guy coming on board, Wotar, looks a little bit like that.
Ugly son of a bitch.
So he's a Zarian, so yeah, they are an amphibian, and he comes on board, and he says, great to see you again, great to see you, and so pleased that you don't hold it against me for beating you fairly and squarely at Sabak that time.
What do you want, Wotar?
Well, yes, I've got myself into a little bit, I have a bit of business that I need to do, but I'm kind of short of a ship at the moment. My ship's undergoing some repairs, and I've been given a job to meet a courier and carry that courier to meet a ship in orbit. And my ship's kind of out of action. So when I was walking around here wondering what I was going to do, trying to get a tramp freighter or something around this area, and I saw the Crate Fang here, and I thought, my good friend's on that ship. I'm sure he'll be willing to split the cost of this business, and I'll give him 500 credits for just a few hours' work flying the ship around. Easy, fantastic. Both of us win. What do you say?
500 credits seems a little cheap.
No, I mean, this is a simple thing. All you have to do, we just need to fly to one of the other cities on here. It's about half an hour's flight away. Meet the courier in a bar and take them into orbit. I mean, you'll do that kind of thing all the time. 500.
Stuff is never that easy.
What? Oh, of course it is.
No.
What are we doing for the other 5.5 hours then?
Oh, well, I don't know. Perhaps we could share a drink after we've done the trip.
If you're paying.
Maybe we'll see. So at this point you're kind of negotiating with him. So one of you can make an opposed negotiation roll against him to see if you can actually get any more money from him. So
I'll use my convincing demeanor.
Convincing demeanor will help if there's any black dice in there. But otherwise, it's essentially whoever is going to do the main negotiation with this, which I'd probably recommend Sonoka. This character to do the negotiation. You just put your negotiation, go to the skills tab, go to your negotiations, double click the black dice. But the difficulty is essentially going to be opposed by Wotar's negotiation. So yeah.
So I'd put.
Yeah, if you actually if you go to your skills tab and just go down to negotiation, and there's a black dice to the right of the negotiation. Just double click that. Yep,
gotcha.
It does it all perfectly for you. But I want you to add 3 challenge dice to that. So just double click the challenge dice and dice 3 times.
Ouch! 3 of them. Darn it.
Yeah. Wotar's a pretty good negotiator. And so this is the chance where you could use a light side point if you want, or something like that, or you can just make that kind of roll, or if you can think of some of the things that you'd want to do. Cool, you've made the light side point. Look at that, that's very symmetrical. 3 yellows, 3 reds.
And then just go ahead and roll it, right?
Yep. Roll this d12. And it's
Wow.
perfectly just irons itself out completely.
Talk about symmetry.
Yeah. So everything cancels out. So, 500. You know what? 550, and you buy the drinks.
That's a deal.
I think he's got away cheap.
Well, we're getting paid to sit here anyway, so this is just extra cash.
Yeah, but
Exactly.
I have a bad feeling about this.
I have a bad feeling anytime I even know Wartar's in the quadrant.
Suddenly, you've been all discussing and negotiating with Wotar, and there's your comlink, or you're kind of like, it's essentially like the doorbell of your ship. Kind of beeps again. Somebody's at the entry port onto your ship.
Oh, I have a quick question. He wanted to be flown into orbit. Do our comm links reach that far? What's the range of a comm link?
So you've got essentially it's the link on your ship, which you could patch through to a handheld comm link that I think all of you have got if you needed to. So that's got a pretty good range. It would depend on the people who were kind of communicating with you, whether they just had a kind of standard low-level comm link, or whether they had something a little bit more powerful than that. Just trying to get the exact range of the comm link.
As for this person at the door, does the Crate Fang have like a camera system where we could look? You know what I mean?
Yeah, you
It
can.
says into low orbit.
Yeah, it does. So yeah, that should be enough for you to receive a communication from your other employers. Yep, so you should be able to still have that. So yeah, basically, looking at the bringing up the camera showing your entry port on your ship, there's 6 kind of pretty kind of muscly looking guys out there. They're wearing kind of like overalls and things like that, pretty much fairly standard wear for the laborers that you've seen around Lisanne, wandering around. And they're kind of just like staring at the door. You notice they've all got some kind of quite old kind of slug thrower rifles with them, and one is keep pressing the the chime on the door, and another one's kind of just staring at the ship, saying,
Are you gonna get that?
Friends of yours, Wotar?
Matt Wade's gonna, if there's an intercom, he's gonna scream on the intercom, "Get your hands off my ship!"
says, and one of them screams back, we'll get the hands off the ship when you give us that no good, low down, scummy amphibian.
How much are you offering?
What? No, you just give him to us. We'll deal with him.
He's yours for 600.
Current
Price
price is 600.
No! Don't let me go out there. They've probably mistaken me for somebody else. They might harm me.
I've heard that a lot of times.
Well, I'm sure you're quite frustrated when it happens as well, when people mistake you for somebody else, or they listen to rumors that they shouldn't listen to. So yeah, I mean,
What rumors?
I don't know. Perhaps they've heard about the deal and wanted a piece of it. You know how these locals can be sometimes.
What deal?
Well, what we're doing, perhaps they want to do this courier job and earn 600 credits, 550 credits for themselves.
At that point, Matt Wade's gonna get back over the intercom and say, "Why do you guys want him?"
So one of he stole us. He sold us some droid diagnostic software, and it's useless. It's rubbish.
Sounds like
Matt Wade
Wotar.
looks back at Wotar. Well,
Says, I may have sold them some software, but if it's not working, it's their own fault. I mean, these people on this backward planet, they've probably got the wrong versions of software on there and everything else. It was perfectly legit that I sold them to it. Let's just get off here and just ignore these guys.
how much? He's gonna go back over the intercom. How much did he sell you these parts for?
Say, just give us him. You don't need to know about that. We'll sort him out. Let the local justice take over.
we do need to know about this.
Okay, you notice one of them has taken his rifle off his back and he's aiming it at the door.
Hey, stop that!
You better stop that, because I'm going to come out there, and if I have to come out there, this isn't going to end good.
I say we get out of here.
Right, chick chick boom. So he fires at the door.
Do we have a pilot? This is out of character, Wes. Do we?
I think Matt
Way? Am I considered the pilot?
Yeah. Matt Ray's considered the pilot. Yeah,
All right.
Sinoka can fly as well, but
and we're on the ground right now, right?
correct. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So now that they've assaulted his ship, and are they in the cockpit? Yeah.
Okay. So bang. It doesn't. I mean, it damages the ship a little bit, but nothing specifically.
Hey, go for lift up, dudes.
Yeah, the Matway is going to get in the cockpit and kind of,
Yeah, Sanoka's going to go up and help him.
on the. I'm just trying to go. He's going to kind of jerk the ship a little bit to kind of try and bump them with the ship as he takes off.
Okay. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to put your characters on the map. I'll just share it with you now. I'll just make them a little bit smaller. So you can basically probably a couple of you have kind of been in the main kind of area, just chatting with Wotar and stuff like that. So you can kind of put yourselves where you want to be. But we will, just so the people can get used to the combat tracker and learn about initiative and things like that, we will just run through this in initiative order. So if everybody opens the combat tracker, it's like the blaster rifle icon in the gold button in the top right hand corner. And just let me know when you've opened that up.
It's open.
I'm good.
So you'll notice there's two sections to it, so you may need to extend it down a little bit or just make it a little bit bigger to see the two sections. So the way the initiative works, for those who've played Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay before, it's fairly similar as well. Basically, everybody rolls initiative, and that gives an order of the initiative slots, which are in the top half of this combat tracker. And we go through slot by slot, and when you get a player party slot, one of you can take that slot. So it's not like things like D&D, if you roll 11 initiative, you always act on number 11. You're essentially making these player party slots so you can decide who acts on it. So, the first round, Matt Way might act in the first slot, and then second round you might act in the last slot, but you just decide as you go along. So you can actually use some quite cool tactics, based off when you put people in the slots and things like that as well. But for the first thing that I'd like you to do is, if you can go to any of your first 3 tabs on your character sheet, and you'll see just beneath your token, there's an initiative entry. If you just double click cool, normally it's vigilance, but for this it's cool because you kind of knew stuff was happening, and just roll that, no purple dice or anything like that. And because it's specifically you use it from the initiative entry, it will automatically populate those values in the top side of the combat tracker. The decimals are 204, the third one down. That's 2 successes, 4 advantages, and basically they just go in the order of successes. And if there's a tie on successes, advantages are used. So I'm just going to roll the NPCs initiatives. So as you can see, we've got 3 player party slots, 2 NPC slots, then 1 player party slot, and that will happen every round. So essentially, you guys are going to get to act 3 times before they then go, and then the last one actually goes as well. So the way this works is I've just put the flag against the first slot, and you'll notice that because none of you have acted yet, you've all got a check mark in the bottom half next to your character. just to the left-hand side of your character. So this is where you discuss among yourselves as a party who, wants to go in this slot. And whenever you decide, or if somebody jumps in saying, "Hey, I want to go," as a player, just click that check mark and then that will put you into that player party slot. So,
I would suggest Matve.
Yeah,
First.
I was going to say, we're just going to get out of here.
Let's go for that.
Yeah, I would say Matway and Sunoka probably the first two to get the ship going.
Yep, so your ship's on the ground at the moment, the engines aren't running, but you can fire them up pretty quickly. Unfortunately, you've kind of got some, like cables and things attached from the local starport facilities. That you could take off without them. It might, without detaching them, they might do a bit of damage or something like that. But, ideally, obviously that's only an emergency situation.
Do you have to detach them from the outside, or is that like...
You do, yeah. I mean, you could try calling for a starport droid to come out and do it. That might take a bit of convincing with people firing kind of slug thrower rifles at the ship and things. Or, you could come up with something else that you want to do. Or just take off with them and attack.
Hey, Jovel and Trey, go detach those cables, and Matway and I will get the ship ready to go.
I think I'd rather see Trey go out there first.
Yeah, I was gonna say Matway is gonna look over at Sunoka and be like, I trust you to get this started. This is my ship. I am gonna go take care of this scum.
Let's go.
I don't know how far movement. I don't know what you want to consider.
Right. Yep. So what I've just shared with you is what you can do on your turn. So normally you do one action, one maneuver. You can never do more than one action. You can substitute an action for a second maneuver, or you can do a maneuver and an action, and you can spend 2 strain to do a second maneuver as well. You can never do more than 2 maneuvers, even if you spend strain, substitute an action for a maneuver, and things like that. So normally a maneuver is stuff like move, aim, take cover, get a weapon out, put a weapon away. And an action would be actually using a skill, attacking, jumping, whatever, or something like that. So, as a move, kind of like you can get from where you are, it's going to be 2 maneuvers to kind of get to the end of the boarding ramp. The boarding ramp's up at the moment. But yeah, you could spend 2 maneuvers to get to there.
When you say the end, do you mean there, or do you mean there?
Do you want to assume that we're
the end there? Yeah.
in
Okay,
this
and
center portion here?
where's the button to lower the boarding ramp?
So you can do it right at the end, essentially out the door, or somebody who's on a computer terminal, which is primarily in the cockpit or engineering. You can kind of like lower it from there with a maneuver.
All right. Well, Matway is going to use both his maneuver and action to get to there, and he's basically going to just say, "Sunoka, get the ship ready. Trey, come with me. We've got some things to deal with."
Okay, so that way, do you want to use your quick draw talent to draw one of your blasters as you move there?
Yes, yep.
Cool.
So do you want me initiative 3 or initiative 2 coming with you?
It doesn't matter because we have 3 spots before them, so...
Yeah, I would say let Sunoka take the last slot then, because all he's going to be doing is running down that corridor to the cockpit and getting the ship going.
Okay,
Trey
I'll
and
go.
Joe Bell can take the upper 2 slots.
How do I put me in there? Sorry.
I think I'm gonna go third. So Trey, you can go.
So Trey, what would you like to do?
I'm making a sprint to the bottom of the boarding ramp with Motley.
Okay, so that's 2 maneuvers to get to there.
So I need 2 strain.
No, because you can convert your action into a maneuver,
Gotcha.
unless you have an action that you'd like to do as well also when you get there.
No, just want to be there.
Okay, so at the moment you haven't got a weapon out and you don't have another maneuver available, so you can't actually get a weapon out.
I don't need weapons. I got claws and teeth. I'm built with weapons.
Okay.
Root.
And just like with most of the combat trackers in Fantasy Grounds, press the arrow at the bottom left when you've finished your turn, and it advances it to the next one.
Okay, so I will actually just move there and kind of try to stay in cover and draw my blaster, my hold-up blaster.
Okay. So yeah, so just click the check mark to the left of your token at the bottom half, so you take the initiative slot. Cool. So that'd be a maneuver to move to there, kind of to move to cover there, and a maneuver to get your blaster out.
Yep.
So that's cool. So just press the down arrow. So yeah, so now it's the NPC. So they're still shouting and screaming. So although I've got 2 tokens on the map, there's actually 3 individuals with each of those tokens. So these are what Star Wars calls minions. So there's groups of minions. So basically they just act once. The more of them that they are, the better they are at doing stuff. And you can kind of like slowly knock them off. So you'll see in the combat tracker, in the bottom half, that there's like pound 3 against both of these. So there's 3 of those left in each of those groups. Yeah. So the first lot, they're just like shouting, screaming, get the guns off their backs again, and they're just like aiming at random things on the side of the ship. And yeah, ooh, special. So, but it didn't actually hit, so it knocks off a... So this is where we can kind of start looking at how we spend the results of these dice. So it was a failure, but it was a failure with a threat. So I'll share spending threat with you as well. So I've just got 1 threat to spend, so either they suffer 1 strain or they lose the benefit of a prior maneuver. They haven't really got a benefit of a prior maneuver, so I'm just going to add 1 strain to those guys. So there's a couple of them are like pushing and shoving each other and firing these old weapons at the ship, and kind of one of the cartridges, the burning like casing, comes out of the out of his rifle and kind of lands on the kind of on the hand of the guy next to him and burns him quite badly, and he starts cursing and swearing at his supposed friend next to him, and they take a point of strain for that, which as they're minions it's actually a wound, because you don't have strain for minions. But the special, so the special is pretty much covers, we can do a lot of things up here. Do something vital to turn the tide of the battle, that's kind of the last thing. So they were kind of aiming up at the camera, and they've managed to actually take out the camera, so now you can't kind of see what those guys are doing out there. The ones who are at the end of the boarding ramp, there's like a transparent steel window that you can look through, so you can still see them out there, but anybody who's not at the end of the boarding ramp can no longer monitor kind of what they're doing outside with that.
I just repaired that. What the?
You're
fixing that way.
Me.
So was there any questions around that? You know, how I spent the threat and the triumph.
No, I get that. That's pretty cool.
Okay, so the next guys, they kind of still shouting and swearing, getting their weapons out and just firing it up randomly at the side of the ship. But this time a failure. No threats, no advantages, nothing. So it's just a straight failure. Yeah. So just the bullets just ping off the hull plating of the Crate Fang, and they don't really do anything much else from that point. So Sonoka.
Okay, Sonoka is gonna sprint down this corridor and throw himself into the seat, start flipping buttons and getting things ready for the ship, start trying to fire up the engines.
Okay, excellent. So yeah, you get there, no problem. Start firing things up. Who'd like to take the next slot? You got again 3 slots before they act.
Maybe I should take the first slot and open the ramp, or lower the ramp.
Yeah, do that, and then Treyasic will jump out and intimidate them and try and scare them away. If that doesn't work, I'm ready to attack.
The ramp opener is where I'm at.
Yeah.
Yeovil. Oh, okay. Trey started there.
Oh, sorry, where Jovel is? No, it's right at the end of the ramp, where the red arrow's pointing to.
Ah,
Sorry.
okay. Yeah. Then I'll wait.
So Trey, sorry, Trey, what were you doing?
I'm waiting for whoever goes ahead of me to open the door, so I'm that way.
Right.
And
So
punch the thing to open the door, and then I'm going to jump out and try an intimidation to scare
So
them
you-
and see if I can
so-
chase them away.
okay, so you're not taking that first slot then.
Oh, on mine it says I'm on the second slot.
So
Alright,
just
so
Jovel should take the first slot because he's going to open the door.
right. Jovel can't. Sorry,
That way.
can't open from there. Yeah.
Oh, I see.
all right. So then that way we'll open the door. You will go first. Is it a maneuver to open the door?
Yes.
Yeah, it's a maneuver because it's interact with your environment is
Okay.
listed under maneuver. So you can
Alright.
just press that button. I mean, the ramp kind of starts to come down, but the way rounds work in like Edge of the Empire, they're an indeterminate amount of time. So absolutely, and this is Star Wars. It's all about action and things like that. So maneuver. The ramp comes down. You see these guys with you, so they're at short range at the moment. So the way ranges work is that you essentially have these 5 ranges. Engaged is when you're actually right up close to somebody. You have to punch them, kick them, whatever. Close range is the next one away. You're very, very close. Medium, long, and extreme. And this shows you the maneuver cost to move. So to move from close range to engaged, it costs you 1 maneuver. You've already used 1 maneuver to bring this open. So if you wanted to engage in hand-to-hand, you'd have to spend 2 strain to move from close to engaged and then use your action. Or if you want to shoot him with your blaster, you can do that. Or if you want to do something else.
All right.
Your blaster does have a stun setting on it. It's an incidental to put it under the stun setting. If you wanted to use that, you've got a.
They shot my ship.
They shot your ship.
All right, so I am going to use my incidental to pull out my other blaster.
Cool.
Since we talked about 2 blaster fighting before this, you might as well start off with it. So correct me if I'm wrong, but that's just 2 purple at this point, right? It just upgrades it 1 because it's the same skill check.
Correct. Yes.
All right, and I'm gonna aim for the boost die.
Okay.
All right, and so I'm gonna take the
so-
2 strain for that.
Yeah, okay, take 2 strain. Cool. Nice. So
Alright.
you've got a success and a special. So because you are 2-weapon fighting, you've got 2 advantages. That's what you need to actually activate the hit with your second weapon. So you've actually, if you want to spend those 2, you've done 2 hits of 9 damage each.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do is hit. Yeah.
Okay, so decide which one you're going to do, and can you just click and drag that 9 damage to whichever token or on the map?
Which one's the one that shot my ship?
The top one.
Haven't they all kind of shot at the ship?
They have, but they were the ones that took out the camera. Yeah, and if you drag it again for kind of the second,
for the second one. Okay.
the second hit.
All right, and then for my for my what's it called?
Triumph.
Triumph. I don't want to really do anything fancy here.
You can use that. You can use that to do something. Yeah, to do something fancy. You could use it to activate a critical.
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking either a critical or like something to turn the tide. I mean, with these guys, I don't know if they're just normal citizens, but seeing the gate drop in, bang bang, would that spook some of them off, or
So I mean, so if you notice from the combat tracker, they've actually dropped from 3 people down to 1 person now, from those 2 shots that you did. Mechanically, that applying a critical would take another one of them out automatically because they're a minion.
I didn't know that actually, but
Yeah.
I'll just do that then.
So you notice under the challenge dice there's a personal critical. Yeah, just drag it again to the token that you're applying it to.
Ooh, game ahead.
I think I did it. Did it do it?
No, I think you just dragged it into the chat window. Yeah, drag it on and drop it on the token.
No, I just did it. I made sure I dropped on a token.
Really? No, it's not showing that it's doing that. Okay, I'll do it anyway. Yeah, because it should have done that.
Oh wait, the damage you mean?
No, the actual personal critical. So just like you did for the damage.
You're saying I dragged the actual at the bottom of the screen where it says personal critical?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No, I was dragging where it said headringer severity equals 2.
All right, yeah, no. So essentially you've just gone out there, you like blasted away with your blasters, and after a few seconds, all 3 of those guys, they're just on the floor.
Alright. That way blows the smoke from his heavy blaster and looks over at Trey. He says,
All right, that one.
they shot my ship.
Right. I'm stepping outside and climb them.
So so maneuver to move to engaged.
Yep. And
Yep.
then attack for my
Okay. So for a
Sorry.
that's always a difficulty of 2 purple. Yeah, that looks good. Ooh, but no. Yeah, the difficulty there. Obviously, you haven't used these guys in a while, and you step out there, and there's 3 of them kind of wandering around and shouting and screaming and waving these like rifles around, and yeah, you just can't seem to get a hand on them or a claw on them. Unfortunately,
Dancing away.
You've got 1 advantage out of all of that. So in the top box here, you can recover 1 strain. I don't think have you lost any strain so far, Chris?
No, I haven't.
You can add a blue dice to your next allies check. So essentially, the person who goes in the next slot will get a blue dice.
Yeah,
Or-
I'll do that.
Okay, so yeah, I've just recorded that in the combat tracker. There's a boost dice available in the next slot. So yeah, so whereas you haven't actually done some damage, you've kind of maneuvered them potentially into a better position for whoever's going to go next to do something.
Maybe
So
you just shoved a guy right into Jovel's kill zone.
so you've done your maneuver in action. If you want to spend 2 strain, you can do another maneuver, but you can't do another action.
No, I'm good for now.
Okay, cool. Who'd like to go next?
Well,
Sorry, I had meant to play some funky music.
I was
Joel,
thinking
I
that
think you
Joel
need
would
to
go
go
next. So, can I see them from where I'm at, up at the ramp?
Yes, that would be medium range. I'd add a black dice to you because there's people in the way and stuff like that. But yeah, you do see them. Would upgrade.
Well,
one
if
of your-
if it's medium range, I'm gonna run down with one maneuver to
Okay.
about there, and then I'm gonna shoot them. You damaged my camera.
Okay, cool.
So
are you using a
My
it's a light-
blaster?
it's a light weapon. Okay, cool. So that's 1. So go to your combat tab and double click the dice to the right of the
There?
hold out blaster. Yep. 1 purple dice, but because Triesec's engaged in there as well, can you click do you see to the left of the dice pool there's a purple plus sign in the top left hand corner? Yeah.
What's that? I just lifted the dice in there.
Yeah, that's cool, but where all of your dice are, just beneath the chat window, there's to the left there's 2 minus signs and 2 plus signs. The top left one, the purple one, just click that once, and that is going to automatically upgrade the difficulty because you're firing into combat with Triesec. Yeah. Yep, that's it.
So no black die?
There is the black die, yeah, because of actually, yeah, sorry, not anymore because you moved up there. No, so just double click on the black die in your dice pool to remove it. Yep, that's it.
It's blue, right?
Oh, the
boost dice I gave him.
oh
Nice
he
shot.
does. Yep. So just roll a blue dice. Yeah. Oh, cool. Wow.
Oh, there you go. Got a couple advantage on it.
Yeah.
There is no critical there, so 3 successes and an advantage.
That's correct. Yeah.
Well,
Shot.
I think I'll.
So again, click and drag that damage onto either the entry in the combat tracker where the Street Tough 1 is, or onto the token on the map. It's probably going to be easy to do it. Cool. So there's still 3 of them there. Your advantage could be giving a blue dice to the next person to go, which is going to be like Sunoka, so I don't know how that's going to work.
Well, I thought I'd do like giving, since we have kind of put them out to both groups almost. Could they receive a black die on their next?
No, you'd have to. Yeah, you need 2 advantages to be able
Oh,
to
right.
black die. Yeah. So
Okay, a blue die then to the next.
yeah, let's see how we can work that in. So
I should know this.
right. So unless do you want to spend strain to get another maneuver, or is that the end of your turn?
That should be the end of my turn.
Okay, cool. So those guys there who are engaged with Trey Essek, who's kind of like standing and like clawing and things. Like, oh, there's a mad Trandoshan here. We'll get him. But they disengage as their maneuver, and then they're all going to fire their weapons at Trey Essek, who's there. I'm not going to use any dark side points, but Treyasek, you can use a light side point if you want.
No, I'm good.
You good? Okay. They moved to there. Yeah, nothing else. So they all fire. Ooh, success with a critical. So all these 3 guys firing their slug thrower rifles at you. They've had a bit of a success there. So they do 3 points through past your soak of 5. But they also do a critical to you. So let's see what that is. Oh, 6. That's you slowed down. That's a little bit boring, really. After
Oh,
that.
only 4 bonus. Fuck.
And slowed down is... You may only act...
217.
Yeah. You may only act during the last hero's initiative slot on the next turn.
Okay. I have a feeling they'll be gone by the time he gets back to me anyway.
Yeah, more than likely. Yeah. So that's a severity 1 wound. So if you take a critical again, it's going to add +10 to the roll and things. You kind of got away fairly lightly with that one. So yeah, that's all they're doing. So Sunoka, I'd like to take the next slot.
Absolutely. Is the ship going? Well, all I can do right now is turn on because they haven't released the cables yet.
That's right, yeah.
Is there any outboard weapons that I can control from where I'm at?
Not really from there. No, you'd want to get into the turret in the middle of the ship.
Okay, then I'm going to continue to get the ship ready to go, and then I'm going to start, if I can see out the cockpit windows, I'm going to be banging and motioning for everybody to get on the ship.
Okay, yeah, from there, yeah, it's going to be difficult to see back there. You'd normally use the cameras, but somebody's kind of shut out a bit of the camera back there. So you can still hear blasters and gunshots and roars and things going on from back there.
Okay. Just frantically trying to get the ship going.
Okay,
Screaming
cool.
to unhook those cables.
Yeah, so yeah, you've got the just the maneuvering thrusters and things like that. You're ready to go. So pretty much when they do unhook those cables, you'll be able to go.
Is there? Does Sunoka know anything that he can do, like I don't know, maybe like venting some steam or something like that to spook these last 3 guys that are out there who maybe aren't as familiar with the ship?
I don't know. Can you?
Do you want
think
me to make a... Well, I was thinking like if there's like any kind of like bells, sirens, anything that makes noise, like rushes of steam that I could vent out while I'm starting the engines, just to make it seem like the ship's just about ready to take off and I'm gonna go, so they better leave. To scare them, basically.
Yep, sure. Make me an average pilot space roll, please, or pilot. Space.
And then do I add 2 purple?
So, yeah, average is 2 purples. Yeah.
And then just go ahead and roll that, correct?
Yep. Okay. Boom. No. So steam kind of starts jutting out on kind of like the other side of the ship. And things, yeah, and it kind of starts rocking a little bit. You've kind of got 4 advantages, so I think that does seem to kind of make them feel a little bit awkward, a bit. They're kind of like, oh, what's that? Oh, they're taking off, kind of thing. So I'm going to say you can use that to kind of give a boost die to the next 2 slots. That's like the equivalent of spending 3 of those and things. So yeah, it's certainly kind of giving you the next 2 people who go a bit of an advantage from doing that. But yeah, it hasn't scared them off or anything.
Oh, that's, boost dice are good enough for me.
Oh, great. So it's top of the initiative now?
Yeah, so that was...
That was not me. I don't know if I accidentally clicked something.
Yeah, was it Trey that got the only
Yeah,
can
Trey goes
act?
last.
Okay,
So
so
you guys will all be
I'm gonna go next then, Jovel, and I'm gonna throw some shots at the guys, and then go for the cables.
Okay.
You can move my. Well, I do the shooting first, maybe.
Yeah, they're at medium now. So 2 purples, yeah.
Yeah. Was there any boost die?
There is one boost die, yeah, for you.
Do I have to drag it down there, or will it come automatically?
No, you'll need to add it in. So just double click the boost die. Yeah, you can't do anything with. It's just purely for information in the combat tracker. So you just manually add the boost die yourself. Yeah, that's it. Success with a bunch of threats. So drag that damage to either their entry in the bottom half of the combat tracker or their token on the map.
He just set all that steam I was venting and set it on fire.
So one of them collapses down, and then I kind of work out how I'm going to spend the 3 threat. So yeah, in your kind of hurry to try and get out and get to these cables, you actually fall prone. So you kind of trip over the end of the ramp as you are firing at these guys, and you're now prone. So you've still got a maneuver left this turn. You can spend that maneuver to stand up. You can burn another 2 strain to get a second maneuver and kind of move to where the cables are and things. So it's up to you what you like.
Yeah, I think I'll do the strain thingies. And how do I add it to my character?
Just on the on the combat tab, just add 2 to your current strain.
Combat tab, yeah, okay. There you go.
Cool. And then probably the cables around here. Ooh, wrong person. The cables are around there, just beneath the cockpit. So you've kind of moved around there, ready to pull those out next turn.
Yeah, I'm being the tech and all.
Is there Is there just one set of cables?
For simplicity's sake, yeah.
How many people are left in the group?
2.
I'm last, so you guys are
2.
all ahead of me.
Okay.
Trey's last.
So, that way, that's medium distance, you say?
It is, yes.
Alright, so move there to make it short range?
Yep.
Alright. That way, cracks his head to the side, lifts both his blasters up. 2 plus the boost plus he aims.
You'll
Right.
have to spend 2 strain to aim.
Yes, yeah, oh yes, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yes, of course,
And it certainly helped.
Wow.
Alright.
So yeah, unfortunately with the so you can activate that again to have 2 hits, your 2
Yeah.
advantages. Yeah. So that's going to keep him out. So yeah, so Matt Way's been out there just guns blazing. His first lot of shots
Wow.
took a group of 3 out. His second lot of shots took the final 2 guys out as
Don't
well.
touch my ship. And then he's gonna look at Trey. He's gonna start loading the bodies up in the freight, wherever we can eject them in space. We don't need bodies laying around in the spaceport.
Alright.
And then Matt Way's gonna start, while Yoval is detaching the cables and whatnot, Matt Way is going to be grabbing bodies and weapons and taking the bodies. I believe it's up in the front. Am I correct? This spot right here is where you eject into space. You can dump stuff.
Yeah, you could do it from there. Yep.
Well, for now, Trey will just grab the bodies and throw them on the boarding ramp. And then once we're in space, we can, as we're taking off, we can take them and drag them over there.
Yeah. There's kind of like a bit of an airlock on each kind of side here as well that you can put people in, and then close the lock on the inside and eject it on the outside as well, possibly.
Sunoka's going to be keeping an eye out, make sure nobody is on the way, nobody saw this whole thing or anything like that. Get out of the cockpit window.
Okay, make me a perception check, please, with average 2 purple dice, please. Sunoka.
Okay, I got it. Double click that, and then 2 purple dice.
Yeah.
And roll.
Okay. Yeah, you can see over. I mean, the kind of the spaceport administrative building. It's really just this kind of plasticrete kind of small temporary building off to the side, and there seems to be kind of the door opens and somebody's kind of just peering out kind of in your direction, but that's a good couple of 100 meters away and things, and the fight's over now, but whether they saw any of the fight or anything particularly what you guys are doing, you're not too sure.
Alright, I'm just gonna yell down that corridor that looks like we got a little bit of interest.
Well, then let's get these cables off and get out of here.
I'm working on it.
In the meantime, Trey's tossing bodies up on the boarding ramp.
Okay, so you're loading everybody up onto the boarding ramp and things. Yeah, you can disconnect the cables now in a bit of a proper manner rather than just ripping them out like you were kind of planning and things. So yeah,
And then I move in.
Cool. Yeah, no worries. So yeah, we're out of initiative and things now, so you can absolutely do all of that. Get back onto the Crate Fang. Kind of Wotan's kind of looks around the corner and sees these bodies, and he kind of gulps and says, "Oh my, you guys certainly mean business." And he kind of stands up a little bit and walks around and kind of.
That's gonna cost you extra, dude.
With his feet, says, "I'll buy 2 rounds of drinks. Absolutely."
More than drinks.
Matt Way points at him and says, "Nobody touches my ship." Shoots my ship.
Yes. Yeah.